Welcome to the Cherwell Ticket Orientation for Dean Foods. The intent of this demonstration is to provide users a high-level look at the workflow and life cycle of a ticket for Dean Foods. So let's dive in and get started. Users will spend most of their time in the Cherwell Service Management main pane, also known as the dashboard, monitoring incident activity. Let's take a quick look at some of these elements. As mentioned in the previous video, each user has a personal interface controlled by security rights, preferences, login, and role. Remember, the pane and the toolbars are dynamic and they change based on real-time activity in the pane. As you can see, the dashboard really gives us a great snapshot of what the personal workload looks like. We can see today's tickets, tasks, and SLA status. Great SLA status, no breached SLAs. Let's hope that we can keep that up. So let's scroll down a little bit here to take a look and see what this screen is all about. So under the recent incident activity heading, we can see all incidents and request activities that are currently in the system. We can also view this by different data points, kind of like who's the customer, created date and time, etc. Is it assigned? Is it resolved? What is it? Okay, you'll note that there are some items here in red with a little alarm clock. That means they are overdue and need attention. You saw me reorder just by clicking on the column headers, and that puts them in descending order or alphabetical order, etc. Now there's another way to get a more targeted view by adding what's known as qualifiers. So for instance, there is a little funnel here that appears. I mean, you can click this certainly and this will reorder, but I'm going to click this little funnel and I'm going to say, hey, I want to see within the last 3 days the tickets that have been created. And I think on the status, what I want to do is just see the new tickets within the last 3 days. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, look at that. So it's giving us all the new tickets within the last 3 days, which is pretty targeted. So, and you can always see what you were searching by down here. So you can change that up as you need to. Now, also remember that I can double click on anything in these panes and it will go ahead and bring up the incident itself. So you can see that here. So here's the main incident, and here is the task area where you will be working. It looks a little small here, so I'll just go ahead and pull that up. We'll get into this a little bit more. So I'm going to go ahead and click the home button, and let's go back to our dashboard. Let's go ahead and go down. One thing I did want to call out here, there's something that says open incidents and requests where I am the customer. We've been doing a lot of testing obviously on this system. That's why this little pane is shown here with so many overdue things. They're merely for testing purposes only. I doubt that you'll see this pane because I don't think you're going to be the customer on a lot of this stuff. So just disregard this. I know it's there, did want to call it out. What I want to do is go down to the My Tasks. These tasks have been assigned to me. Either I've taken ownership of them or my lead or someone has assigned tasks to me. Certainly I can look at this. I can order it by status. Here's one that's in progress in blue. This one's new. I haven't acknowledged it yet, so it shows up as black with this little yield sign or information sign. So that's everything that I have. Okay, what I want to point out though is, let's go ahead and open one of these because it's clickable. And again, we have a split pane window. It looks different though. The service request for this item is down here rather than being on the top. Here on the top is where you're going to do most of your work. You're going to be doing work in the tasks. This one happens to be closed, which is fine for our purposes right now. But we'll go ahead and take a look at the different information here. Obviously, I was assigned to that. This is my team. Here's all the ticket information. There was only one task associated with this service request. So all of that is copacetic. And there are a number of things you can do here, but we'll get to that in just a second. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to the home page. Click. So the next thing that I want to do is I want us to take a look at how a request flows through the system. There are a couple ways to do that. One's through the task pane that we just looked at, or through an incident itself. Okay, so as you may recall, requests are customer generated through a self-service portal, and then they're queued by system business rules. So on our dashboard, I want to select the My Team button on the left side of the main pane. At the top of the screen, you get a top-level view of real-time status for everything for your team. Okay, so what you're seeing here, total 33 tickets. Of those 33 tickets, 7 are incidents, so the others are probably service requests. Now, of those 33 tickets, you have 115 work tasks to complete before these tickets can be resolved. There are no VIP issues out there. That's a blessing in disguise. So there's no things hanging fire for them. However, we do have one priority, one ticket out there, so that will be worked first, obviously. So let's go ahead and look under the heading of under My Team, Open Incidents and Request heading. So I can check the status on all tasks for my team by double-clicking on any item. Okay, you can see some things are overdue, others are not. What I'm more concerned about for my daily work are the opened unassigned tasks. So let's go ahead and come down here and open a task. Now I do have some test items that I set up just expressly for this little video. So let's go ahead and open up some of those. So double clicking on that, and it's going to open up the task. And here's the task. All the information is here, so it's a work item, physically check item against packing slip, quantity, price, and check for damage if applicable. Okay, so we're looking for a device that's coming in. This is a new ticket. There's no owner selected yet, so no one's owning this task. It is my team. I pulled it up off from the dashboard. So there's a couple things that you can do here, lots of actions. So the first thing first, I'm going to take ownership of this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click this, and I have taken ownership. So I now own this task. My name is now populated in there. My team is there. Anytime I work with a ticket, I always make sure to save it. Okay, so there are a couple things that I can detail here. I can view the detailed information and time for this ticket. It was linked to incident this. It was created by the Cherwell admin. It was last edited by me because I just took control of it. I can add this to my Outlook calendar if that's something that I want to do to monitor these things if I'm not going to do it right away. I can add a downstream task. I can link to an upstream task. One of the things that I really like about this is, I'm a visual person, so I'm going to take a look at the task dependency flow here from a visual standpoint. These buttons give you some other views. You can explore those on your own. They're awfully redundant. It's things you've already seen here, and I'm not sure what good will come of that by looking at those right now. So the task, just hover. It gives you the title, the status, who it's owned by, and the team. Now you see down here we have some boxes that are ticked. Upstream tasks, downstream tasks. They should show up here if there were any of them. Obviously there isn't, so I'm going to uncheck that. I'm going to see if there are any sibling tasks around. Doesn't look like it, so we're good to go there. Now alternatively, you could say, oh my gosh, I took this task, I really didn't mean to take it, so you can use this link here to reassign the task. That's great. and it will show up in the journaling as an action that happened with this ticket. You can also decline this. If somebody had sent it to you, assigned it to you, and you're like, no, I don't have time to do this, you can decline the task. I would caution you before you start declining tasks like that. Please check in with your supervisor or your lead before you do that. Now I know that I've accepted this. It still shows status is new. I'm going to acknowledge that I have seen this ticket. I'm going to click the Save button up here, and then I'm going to go back home. Out to our dashboard, I'm going to scroll all the way down to My Tasks. And you can refresh your screen at any time by using the F5 key, which I just did. So I'm going to scroll down here, and there it is, the incident that we just worked on. It's in green, checked, which means I've acknowledged it, and that's what the status is there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click on that again and show you how to do some further work with this ticket. So I'm going to set this as in progress right now. Because the thing has come in and I verified the packing slip, the quantity, the price, and I'm checking for damage. It looks, pretty good to me, and it looks very good to me. So I'm going to go ahead and it's in progress right now. I'm going to go ahead and close this ticket. First things first, though, there's a known issue with this iteration of the system. And before you go to close, type in your completion details here. If you don't, you'll go ahead and enter the close code, and you will not be able to save the work that you did because you're going to go into a loop here. Like I said, known issue, don't worry about it, but as a rule of thumb right now through this deployment, the initial deployment, let's go ahead and put our completion details in before we do anything else. All items checked and verified. Okay, there we go. So then I'm going to go up here to the status and go next. It's going to ask me for a close code. I'm going to say completed and say OK. So this is now moved to closed. I'm going to save it. One thing I did want to point out to you is this. This is an initial deployment for Dean Foods, so it's a new system, new customer. So if you've noticed that we've done all this work up here, but the service request itself, the global ticket, is still sitting at assigned. Okay, so what the work we did here is not replicated down here. I understand that that may seem like double work. That's by design during this initial deployment phase. So what's occurring here is our Service Engagement Manager, Chris File, has agreed to have oversight for all tickets and service requests for Dean Foods during this initial stage. So what happens is when the last task is closed by a technician, an alert is going to be sent to Chris to go out and take a look at the ticket and just double check the work that was done. Is all the information listed on the tasks? Were they handled in the proper way? And then what he's going to do is he's manually going to close out this ticket for us. So that's what that looks like. So let's go back to the home page. I'm going to go to my team. So now that's one way of dealing with a ticket. Okay, now here's the other way, and the other way that we're going to deal with a ticket is we are going to actually have the incident number. You're very familiar from the previous video about the quick search function up here. Now I have the incident number, it's 10685. I'm just going to pop it right in there and say go. And it is searching for that right now, and so here's our incident. It shows no owner, it shows no team, it's new. Do we we want to work on this or not? Well, obviously we do because we have the ticket number. I've just expanded the task pane down here. So here are your tasks. You'll recognize this. You can resize these windows any way you want. So there are 2 tasks that are involved in this particular incident. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at this task. Here's all the information. You can still do all the stuff you did at the other window. You know, take ownership and all of that. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take ownership. I'm going to acknowledge the ticket. I'm going and see how it turns green. I'm going to put it in progress. There you go. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take ownership of that task. I'm going to acknowledge it. I'm going to set it as in progress. Okay, so you see how these have changed. I'm going to go ahead and save this. And I want to show you. I'm going to go back to our home page. I'm going to hit F5 to refresh. I'm going to come down here to my tasks. And there they are. So received and in progress. So it populated right away. So let's go back out there because I'm going to show you how to close the tickets out here. Okay, here we go. So we still have our 2 tasks open. I'm going to redo that right there. Good, 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 good. I'm going to take that task. I'm going to do completion details. I'm going to say config complete. Of course, it wouldn't be in this order. Ready to ship. Okay. And then I'm going to say next to close. It's going to ask me for the close code, and I'm going to say okie dokie. I'm going to do the same thing for this task down here. I'm going to say received device confirmed need for replacement. Okay, that's what I'm putting down. I'm going to say close code. It's now completed. I'm going to say okie dokie. I'm going to save that. So everything is saved there. So you'll see that there are no open tasks. I want you to see, are there any linked incidents here? No. Here's the location of the person. In the journal, right now there are no issues or anything. There were no portal comments. Okay, so there's all this really rich information here. And again, don't panic because this hasn't changed. The last task that we took care of here sent that alert out to Chris File, and he is taking care of closing that ticket manually. So I want to go back out to our home page. So you can see it's fairly easy. There might be a time where you might have to enter a new task yourself. I'm not going to show you how to do that. Your leads and supervisors can do that. It's far and few between. If you come to that situation, it's going to be noted because most of these tasks are going to be automated, and the more we catch when we have to add new tasks, that helps with the build out of the tool. So I just wanted to call your attention to that. One final thing that I do want to demonstrate for you is information at your fingertips. We're deploying a new system. It's a new customer. There's a lot of unfamiliarity here. I want to let you know that there is help available for you, and it's right within the tool. On the menu bar, we want to go to help. You can call up help at any time by using the F1 key or just going to help and choosing content. So you can see that this build out here, there's lots of information here. You could probably print everything out and make a really thick training manual, I think. So you can look here, welcome to help. This tells you how to use help and whatnot. So let's pick logging in, because that's a big thing, logging into CSM. So here's the main page. Okay, so it says here's what you do in this section. Log into CSM. Look at this. Look at how rich the content here is. It's step by step, giving you screenshots and everything else. I think that's just great. You'll also notice, well, here's login to the administrator, so those are the two logins. But on a lot of these items in the help file, you'll get this other column that says see also. So I'm going to click that. Oh, look at that. These are popular topics. More people use those, so they bubble to the top with links to go right to that content. I think that's awesome. Another thing, too, that you might want to look at, I mean, just, in your spare time, take a look at this. Please know that this isn't the Denali specific flavor, but it's the out-of-the-box flavor, or it's the out-of-the-box tool. One of the things that I think is really helpful, and I realize that you went through the other video yesterday, but the tour the interface. So this shows you what it looks like, etc., etc., etc. And here in this section, you can look at these things and then see also this. So I want to go to the CSM main window. I love this. It's the elements of that main window are all numbered, and here are active links to each one of those numbers. So, like for instance, this is the menu bar. Let's go ahead and click that. Awesome. So here it is, as you see, patterned after Windows, File, Edit, View, right? So for the File menu category up here, here is a grid of all the actions within that file dropdown, and for each of those actions is what the behavior or what it is that you can do using that action. I think that's awesome. A lot of you probably already know a lot of these, but look at how that's built out. The same thing goes for task panes. It talks about task pane and what it's for and what the defaults are and things of that nature. So just know that you are not necessarily on your own with this tool, that the help is there when you need it. So that kind of sums up everything on how a ticket flows through the system, what your workflow looks like. The initial kickoff, the go live, is Monday. I wish you great luck with that. One thing I do want to ask from everybody is, since this is the first iteration of a tool that we're deploying, as you go along in your daily work, if you see some odd functionality or something's not working, those sorts of things, jot them down with as much detail as possible and give them to your supervisors or leads so that they can be passed on to our developer. The more eyes and hands that we have on this system and just banging on it helps us create a better user experience. And the more we have a better user experience, the better experience that we have for our customers, and we can deliver the above the rest support that we pride ourselves in. So I wanted to say, hey, thanks a lot for listening to the video and following along. You'll be seeing more polished versions of this in the future. And I wish you great luck with the go live on Monday. I'll talk to you later on the learning path.